Hi, I've got a question for you. Do you remember what you did for your last birthday? I have a feeling if you're over about 12, the answer's probably not. I know, for me, they all seem to blend together at this point. But I can tell you I am not going to forget this birthday. Yes, it's my birthday today, and it's also launch day for my new book of short stories, Tiny Shoes Dancing. This is probably one of the best presents I could ever think of getting for my birthday, although don't tell my husband, he can still get me something else. And I have a gift for my readers on this day also. Anyone who buys a copy of the book today, August 8th, gets another digital copy either for themselves or their friend. Just email me a copy of your receipt and I'll get that off to you. I'd like to read a little passage from one of the stories in the books. This is from a story called Skyping with the Rabbi, and it's really the only story that has anything to do with birthdays at all. It's about a boy named Jake and some fairly traumatic events that go on around his bar mitzvah. It's a section from the middle of the story. I hope you enjoy it. Jake's mom wasn't up the next morning when Jake and his dad left for the rabbi's. "She's not feeling great," his dad said. Hungover, Jake thought. He'd seen his mom ordering cocktails in the lounge, though he wasn't sure with the distractions of the Farlands discussion and the baseball game, whether it had been 2 or 3. He caught the stormy look from his father at the table when she ordered first 1 glass of wine and then 2 more during their meal. Jake wanted it to be one of those mornings, like the ones early on, when his dad would leave the radio off and talk. He wanted his dad to make it easy to ask questions, even though Jake wasn't sure exactly what to ask. But as soon as they got in the car, on came the radio, and the host's strident, accusatory voice blasted them for the whole ride. Rabbi Miriam came to her door, holding a shoebox and looking solemn. "It's Suki," she said. "She's sick." Jake stroked Suki's fur. He felt his father behind him and felt, rather than saw, the exchange between the 2 adults. "What's the matter with her?" Jake asked. "It's a respiratory infection. She's on antibiotics, but they don't seem to be helping." "That's a shame," Jake's father said. Jake felt his father's hand on his shoulder, 2 taps as his father backed away toward the door. "Have a good session. I'll see you at noon." "I think Suki might feel better if you held her on your lap," the rabbi said. "Do you mind?" Jake sat, and the rabbi gently set the rat and her cushion on his lap. Now, in the quiet of the house, Jake could hear the rough, quick rattle of Suki's breathing. She didn't wriggle under his finger as she usually did when he rubbed behind her ears. "Is she going to be okay?" he asked. "We'll have to see," Rabbi Miriam said. Jake thought about Suki all day Sunday. It was amazing that such a tiny thing, the rat couldn't have weighed more than a pound, could take up so much space in his head. He even had trouble concentrating on Farlands. He let a Terevian brine snake sting him, and he had to retreat to his homeworld to restore his health. Finally, he logged out and sat staring at the game's homepage, where a clever digital artist had arranged many of the creatures that populated Farlands. Scaly, lumpy, graceful, awkward. Behind fantastical trees, veiled in nodding vines. That's a little taste of one of the stories from Tiny Shoes Dancing. I do hope you'll check it out. You can find out more on my website, audreykelman.com. Until next time, happy reading.